we got the frame and the swing arm and the wheels power washed. So got this kind of area cleaned up, ready to go with tearing apart this motor. Hopefully no surprises in here, but we'll see. Got the GoPro set up for the time lapse, and yeah. Took off the case saver, and all the teeth are pretty worn, and then that one is actually worn down just to a nub, as is that one right there. So yeah, not a great sign. Makes me a little nervous to split the cases, but we'll see what happens. I think the last video I took was disassembling the engine. Obviously got that all disassembled. Some drama with that. Cylinder head studs seized. So I'm using one of the cases is off of the parts bike. The other one is off of the regular one. Was able to get it to work. This right side one had some damage from the chain coming through. I think it broke the case saver. See, I had a little bit of damage on the left one where the chain was, I guess it rubbed or snapped or something. I did what I could with JB Weld, but I wasn't going to spend a ton of time on it because you're not ever going to see this. It had worn through right here at the clutch lifter, and so I fixed that. It had worn through on this side. And there's a screw that holds in that bearing on the back side, and it actually wore through a hole there. The only real dramatic spot is right here where the case saver is. Now those threads are all actually original, so I think we're okay. I may have to figure something out. You can notice it's not really flush with this one over here, so when I put the case saver on, it's going to be kind of interesting to get it to be the right height, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I also have over here, these are, so they're bolt engine kits, and I bought a, from MX Revival, a blackout bolt kit, and basically it's these two little bottles, and you mix it with water, and you can replate them to be black. They are cool. I wouldn't call it a fail, because I mean these are bolts and they're now black. So in that sense, this is not a failure. It worked. I don't think I'm going to use them though, because the finish is very inconsistent. I don't know if I can get this camera to focus here. So you can see there that, I mean, they have like this kind of green haze to them. I'm not really sure what's up with that. Some spots it's more noticeable than others. Some of them I've gone through and cleaned up with a bristle brush, and that's helped. But like inside of these bolt heads, it's real bad, and I don't know. I'm not really crazy happy with it. I was really excited to get it and thought it'd be something really cool, but it just didn't quite turn out the way I had hoped. That's okay. Not the end of the world. So I do think I'm just gonna, a couple of them didn't get plated either because they fell out in the rinse tank before I actually plated them. I do think I'm just gonna keep them for now. If I end up down the road finding a way to fix this haze or something, I may switch them out. But for now, yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep them off to the side for now. Just run the regular bolt hardware kit. As you can see, both engine cases have been Cerakoted tungsten. Love the color. I think it looks awesome. I was going for just a shade under black. Let me see if I got something. So you can see that there is, especially in the right light, there is like a difference between this and black. So I'm really happy with it. I do think I'm just gonna keep them for now. If I end up down the road finding a way to fix this haze or something, I may switch them out. But for now, yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep them off to the side for now. Just run the regular bolt hardware kit. I am going to start assembling the motor. I have both the cases here. They've both been Cerakoted this beautiful tungsten color. I love how it turned out. It's going to look amazing when it's all together. Both of them, the bearings are in. I'm catching you up because I told you already I'm really bad at making sure things are documented, and I'm really jealous of people that are good at that. And I'm already breaking like my promise to myself to try to document this. I did a lot of work off camera. Like I said, they've been Cerakoted. The gasket surfaces have been sanded smooth. The bearings are in on both of them. This one, I actually even put in a new lifter bearing. That was a pain in the butt. If you can get away without doing that, I would suggest it, because that kind of sucked. I have the crank in the freezer right now, and it's been in there for almost 24 hours now. So the what is that? The right one? Yeah, the right one is at 350 right now. So I'm about to pull it out, stick it in the engine stand, drop the crank in. Hopefully that just goes in, because I really don't like pulling cranks, but obviously I'm gonna have to for the left one. Okay, so quick update, the right side is all done. The crank, boom, fell right in, no big deal there. Transmission, I spent a lot of time, you probably saw me going through the transmission, and that's just because when I pulled it apart, I don't know if you saw, but I don't know if I pulled it apart on the wrong side or what the deal was, but in any case, the whole transmission came off when I took the left side case off, and just like fell apart on the table. So I just went ahead and went through everything, cleaned everything really good, inspected everything, just make sure everything was copacetic, and all looked fine. Kind of a pain getting it in, but struggled with that a little bit, but that's all right. Got it in, and yeah, I mean we're all greased up. Anti-seize on the dowels, crank is turning like butter, brand new hot rods crank, so wouldn't expect anything less. Yeah, I think we're ready to go ahead and get this guy and do some final lube checks, get these retaining bolts in, and I think we should be good to go. Go ahead and make these guys up and have a full working bottom end. So yeah, bottom end's all done. Went together really well. Had no issues whatsoever, actually, which I'm very thankful for. Looks awesome. I love the way this tungsten is looking. Bolts. I thought that the Pro Pack bolts that I bought was going to have the case bolts here, but they didn't. So I ended up using, even though I said I wouldn't, I ended up using this black hardware after all. And I actually don't hate the way it looks. I think it looks pretty sleek. I don't know if I'll use all of them. I mean, there's a couple of them that didn't get plated because they fell out in the rinse tank and I didn't notice. I don't know that I'm going to use them everywhere, but for what that is, I think that looks pretty slick. I mean, it's got a little bit of unevenness that I was talking about, but I don't hate it as much as I thought it would. It almost looks like kind of battle worn almost, which is kind of cool. So I may just run with that. I think it looks pretty cool. But anyways, I'm gonna start get some other stuff ready for Cerakote, so it'll be ready by the time I'm gonna put them on the motor. And in the meantime, in the waiting periods, I'm gonna work on things like, you know, getting the stator on, getting the clutch and all that, gear shift mechanism, all that on. Yeah, I think we're on pretty good pace here to have a engine done by the end of the day. So here we go. All right, so I don't know exactly. It's the next day, by the way. I don't know exactly where I left you guys off with the engine build yesterday. But here's where we're at. I have the excuse me, the inner clutch cover done. It came out really nice. Yeah, it came out really good. I'm really happy with it. Got the bearings in for the water pump and the power valve. Just got to get the seals in and whatnot, and we'll be good to go with that. Matches the power valve cover pretty well, I think. And I also did the water pump cover. I thought about doing the water pump like a different color, like maybe tungsten or black or something like that, but I kind of figured with something like this, you know, less is more. So I just went with the same color. It'll blend in. The clutch, like the actual clutch cover itself, will probably be a different color. I just noticed that this might be, yeah, there might be a little bit of exposed metal here. I didn't think about that. I don't know, I may fill that in with a Sharpie or something like that. As ghetto as that sounds. Just so you don't have bare metal, but I don't know, I'll figure it out. Anyways, this is pretty much ready to go. I just got to put, you know, water pump, power valve, and all that. I'm not going to do the clutch yet because I'm not sure where I'm at with the clutch, where I stand with it. Probably just going to do the clutch basket because it's in good shape, and Honda makes pretty decent clutches, so I may just do that and then get like Hinson plates or something like that, Hinson springs, that kind of thing. But before I do that, I'm going to get all new hardware for it, you know, the bolts and the washer, the plate that you fold over to lock that nut in. I'm going to get all new hardware for that. Other than that, yeah, the bottom end's pretty much done. The exception of those few things in the ignition. And yeah, that's pretty awesome to see. I'm really excited about that. Today I'm working on the exhaust, I'm such an idiot. The cylinder. I'm going to Cerakote this. Obviously, the major concern Cerakoting is you don't want to get anything in the cylinder, including sand when you sandblast. So I just have to be really, really, really diligent about masking off really well and making sure all these entryways into it are nice and covered.